Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. This is your host Hollow Knight. I am here for part 5 of Bramble the Mountain King. I just got an itch up my sleeve to just finish the game today, so I am going to be doing that. I don't know what I'm going to be doing Wednesday, because Wednesday I'm going to do Resident Evil again. I don't know, maybe I'll do just 2 Resident Evil episodes and not do anything else. Yeah, maybe I'll just do an extra episode of Resident Evil. Because Resident Evil 3 is not that long of a game, so honestly, if I can get through that a little quicker, then honestly, yeah, if I can get through that quicker, then, I mean, that's a benefit to me, given the fact that I can't, um, or, that'll help speed up my Resident Evil playthroughs, because, like I said, I'm trying to get through Resident Evil. I'm trying to get through all the Resident Evil games. Uh, Excuse me. I'm trying to get through all the Resident Evil games, so that I can play, the new one when it comes out in February. Which I'm gonna do. But, like I said, if I have to skip eventually to right to the new one and then go back and do some ones that I had to skip, then so be it. But obviously, Resident Evil 3 is what I'm currently working on, and then Resident Evil 4, and then I'll be doing 5 and 6, which 6 is going to be fun, because 6 has 4 different playthroughs you have to do to get the actual true ending of the game. You have to play through, I do believe, you have to play through one playthrough with Chris, one with Leon, one with... Fuck, I don't even remember all of them. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, it's divided into 4 campaigns: Leon and Helena's, Chris and Pierce's, Jake and Cheryl's, and Ada has yeah, you have to go through 4 different campaigns, and you have to beat 3 of the campaigns to actually be able to unlock Ada's, and then you have to go through Ada's campaign to eventually get them all to meet up at the end, and then do this secret boss fight. And each one of them has their own boss fight. Yeah, Resident Evil 6 is going to be ridiculous. But just like 7, I will 100% play through. I will be playing through Resident Evil 6's. I will be playing through all 4 campaigns, just like I did with 2.
As he reached the summit, Olle felt regret. Regret that he could not stop his sister from being taken. Regret that he could not stop the woman from drowning her child. Regret that he had killed the shapeshifter in the forest. Now the mountain stood before him, and he wished he could ask their forgiveness. He had reached the end that Tuva had pointed him towards. Now, entering the halls of the mountain, Olle was ready to find his sister. Long ago, there was a...
That's the one I read earlier. Forgot that they changed. This was the one that...
Exhausted, bloody, and at his wit's end, King Nils came to a witch's house on the outskirts of his kingdom. He fell to his knees, begging the witch to help cure his son, and she agreed. The witch explained that the flower held tremendous power that could only very carefully be used for good. The witch instructed he only use a single petal. Using the whole bloom would only invite death. Ulrich began to recover, but discontent at the royal line had grown in the kingdom, following King Nils' bloody campaign. The next day, King Nils found his son dead, and the last light holding his darkness at bay was snuffed out. Heartbroken, King Nils turned to the bloom which had promised life, and instead saw it as an escape from his suffering. The witch, having come to visit the king and the prince, looked at the nightmarish scene in despair. She raised a mountain on top of King Nils and shackled him using the same bramble that he let loose upon the kingdom. And to this day, the trolls still feed him as punishment for his evil deed.
Oh.
Tyler, because I think it's funny, I'm gonna keep pretending like I know what this woman is talking about. So my two options are either swallow a soul gem or 9. Kind of interesting.
You see the cup in the hand. Okay, that's him. Okay, it's 6. Six, 2. Let's move on. What's the number on this one? is the number? Oh, it's right there. I can barely fucking make that out. I think that's an X, which means 10. Okay, you gotta. Oh, yeah, I forgot this. I need it. Give me a second, guys. I need to charge my phone quick.
forever, now opened. The Mountain King, who was meant to be hidden forever, was now revealed. He just had to reach the sack before Lillimor ended up as the giant's dinner.
I forgot I'm muted.
Bramble weakened, the Mountain King saw clearly for the first time in centuries. And what he saw reminded him of his beloved son. He would not lose him again. This time, King Nils would overcome the darkness. The source of the curse blossomed. King Nils tore the bramble rooted in his back and brought it all to an end. The only way to get to Lillimor was now up and in. Tuva had one last gift to give to Ole. Started to crumble. nightmare woke her up. Frightened by her memories, she searched for her brother's comfort, but he was nowhere to be found. However, the darkness outside did not scare her. Because she knew she had her brother.
What the hell? I didn't realize I was muted. Oh, fucking A. Okay, let me go over all of what I was saying again. I didn't realize I was muted. I forgot I had muted. I muted earlier, and then I completely forgot to unmute. Fucking A. I hate doing that. But to be fair, it's not entirely because I stream off my PlayStation. There is no actual indication whether I'm muted other than my controller. And when I'm paying attention to the game, I'm not looking at my controller. So I really kind of wish they did some type of update or like sometime in the future added it to where you could actually see that you're muted on like a corner of the screen or something while you're streaming off of this, because it'd be really nice to know that I was muted. But anyways, that was Bramble. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really love Bramble. I think it's a very underrated game. I don't see a lot of people talking about it. I would love to see either a sequel or a game by the same developers that's in the same setting, because honestly, I also really like the Scandinavian folklore kind of vibe too, because it's all based on different folklore from Sweden and Norway and Finland. So it's based on a lot of different mythological creatures from those region. From that general region. I would love to see another game at some point similar to this by the developers. Maybe not a direct sequel, because I don't know how they would do a direct sequel to it, but it'd be nice to at least see, like, it'd be cool to see, like, a game set in the same world, but just maybe different characters or something. But anyways, yeah, I really wanted to raid a friend of mine, so that's kind of why I decided to just keep streaming and just keep going. So I did 2 extra episodes today, so I'm gonna have to fit those in my schedule because they're extra episodes. So I don't want to push them to next week because I don't feel like, honestly, it's just the fact that I don't really want to put them next week and then end up getting way into the future and then get my schedule getting all out of whack again. So I'll probably just do a couple days where I add these extra episodes. Next week's gonna have a lot of extra episodes because I also have 2 extra Marvel Rival episodes to fit into next week's schedule. Now this and likely another Resident Evil 3, because I think I'm leaning towards doing Resident Evil 3 part 3 or part 2 and 3 on Wednesday, and just doing an extra episode. That way we can get through Resident Evil 3 and then get to 4, because I'm going to be 100% on this. I don't like Resident Evil 3's remake as much as the Resident Evil 2 and 4's remake, because quite honestly, I think they dropped the ball on it quite a lot. The original version of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is, it's fantastic. I absolutely love it, but the remake is honestly shit. And honestly, I even looking at because I upgraded, I'm currently playing the PlayStation 5 version of Resident Evil 3's remake. Before, when I had played it on my own, I played the PlayStation 4 version, and when I looked right before I upgraded to the PlayStation 5 version to play, I actually noticed that it said I only played Resident Evil 3 for 9 hours, which means the game is definitely extremely small and isn't going to take us long to get through. So yeah. I will definitely do an extra episode on Wednesday so that we can get through it, and then we can move on to 4 afterwards, and then obviously we'll just keep going from there. So that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe if you already haven't. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all my content. If you're on the YouTube side of things, if you're on the Twitch side of things, just hit me up with the follow. Thank you guys all for watching. I'm going to mute now again so that I can do the raid, and I will see you guys all in the next episode. Bye.